In this video, we are making dunks. Finally, I've been asked so many times, you gotta start making dunks. I'm finally making some dunks. I don't know if we're gonna go with SB dunks or just normal dunks. They're gonna be low top dunks, and we're gonna be going with a all blue, cobalt blue, royal blue. And first of all, I think it's a really cool color, nice details. So I'm gonna pull out all the materials. We're gonna cut out the patterns, and I did make the patterns last night, and it took forever, but we're right to it. And with that being said, if you wanna learn the shoemaking process, join my shoemaking course, link down in the description. I'm gonna pull out the materials and let's start cutting them out. So I'm getting inspiration from lobster dunks. I wanna go all blue with a white outline on the Nike swoosh. This is some inspiration from the one of ones that I made in a last video. Go check that out. I love all suede shoes. You don't really see them out there. So we're going all blue suede. I might add some dots into it to get some inspiration from the lobsters, as well as the Nike signs are gonna be a nice cobalt blue. Look at that, it's gonna pop nicely with this royal blue and then like a cobalt blue. But with that, different textures for different folks. Nice suede, nice python, reptile. What are we doing, right? I got all my patterns underneath the camera, so I gotta pick up the camera, get all the patterns on here. And I also got all my white markers right here. These are all heat erasable pins. So you mark on the leather, you hit it with some heat, they go away. You could also hit it with some water too, washes off really easy, like if it's on the python. But for the suede, you'll just have to hit it with some heat. I'm gonna pull them out, start tracing out the materials and cutting them all out. So these are my fancy patterns. Man, look how fancy that is. This is a collar, just normal paper, all taped up together. We got our liner right here. But for this, I'm just gonna trace it out onto the suede material. I'm not too sure what we're gonna work with the liner right now. I do wanna use a different material, like a cotton material. As you can see on the old lobsters, they have more of like a plaid, like a picnic table cover going on. I kind of want to go in that vibe, but I want to change up the colors. I also want to mess up the stitching. So instead of, we'll first have some stitches going along the panels, but I want to crisscross and diagonal over the panels. I'm not too sure if I'm going to incorporate that, but if I do, we'll show you when we get to that point. But I have all these, you know, beautiful patterns. Trace that out right there. That will be, you know, the toe. Made these all patterns. If you want to learn this process, join my shoemaking course. I'm gonna pull out the leather, trace it out with the pins that I showed you. I have this really cool neon thread right here, and I think it'll be very unique. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna go with it because I have blue as well as white thread that I always use, so I might play around with this as well. But as I said 1,000 times now, I'm gonna start cutting out all these materials. If you wanna learn how to make a shoe just like this, join my shoemaking course, link down in the description. So now that all the pieces are cut out perfectly, we have all the lines and all the tracings on them as well, and that's gonna help us guide each piece onto each other so they're all straight and they fit perfectly. But the next step for all of this is gonna be skiving it down. And not doing these shoes in the past, this is gonna be new to me, but all that it is pretty much pieces that overlap each other. Those are the areas that I'm gonna skive down. So for example, with the upper layer and then the mid panel, I'm just gonna skive in between them so they overlay perfectly, so they fit just like that instead of it being there and then you got a little uplift and then a little bit of the downlift. We're gonna do it in a diagonal so gradually it blends into each other. So that's what I gotta do right now. So I'm gonna go get my skive, I'm gonna sharpen the blade, get it all ready to go, especially with the toe box, right? We gotta skive that down to make it nice and flush on the foot. So that will be the next step, but I love the colors already. And with that, we're gonna be using the neon thread that I have right here. I think it's gonna pop perfectly, especially with it all being blue. I think this will be a really nice touch, as well as I'm gonna add a white outline to my blue Python Nike sign, and I think that's gonna really make it pop. So after this, I will cut the white Nike sign. I'll back it on there. We'll put it on the mid panel, stitch it up. It'll be good to go. And for the Nike sign, I might go with blue stitch, but for all the panels, we're going with neon stitching. So all the pieces are all skived up, and I did it live on my TikTok, so definitely check that out. Follow, because I'm going to be doing more lives. But this is what the back pieces look like, right? We got the mid sections. We also have the upper that didn't get any skiving. We also got the mid uppers that do have skiving, and then very last we got the toe that has lots of skiving. So all that is settled up, ready to go. First step that I'm thinking I got to do, because this is my first time doing it, so I don't know the order. I don't know what to do first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is going to be mine, Tyler B. Spokes. First step in making the dunks is on the back piece right here, right? We got 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna do this in the neon thread that I mentioned before. So that's the first step I gotta do, because that's like the very bottom layer of this whole cake that we're making. It's gonna be like a 10-layer cake, right? And as I mentioned before, this is a thread we're using. So I'm gonna be using this on the 3 lines on the back piece. So first of all, 1, 2, 3 on each piece. From there, we're gonna overlap it, but we also have to add the tab, and I might do some embroidery on that, because I got my handy dandy brother sewing machine with the embroidery machine on it. So I might play around with that, add some cloth onto there, and add a really cool effect. But first of all, let's go to the industrial sewing machine over there, throw in the neon thread, get the 3 lines down, and then from there we're gonna add the wings and midsections and even the eyelets. Pause, subscribe, like, turn on notifications, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. So we got the back 3 stitches finished up. Now the next step is to apply the overlapping leather on this leather. So first of all, we got this piece, right? We got a second piece of material that will be overlapping and just showing the last 3 stitches poking out underneath, so it's going to be really cool. But as you can see, that blue and blue is a really nice contrast with the lime green underneath. I'm not too sure how it's going to fully turn out, but I'm excited to see the end product. But that being said, with it all being skived and all prepped already, it's just on to the next piece of material stitching. As I said, overlapping right there. I'm either going to glue it on or double tape it on. I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to play around with it, see how it looks, see how it stretches as well, because we got to have it stretch in order to last it up. I'm going to go that process and keep stitching. So we got the upper wings all stitched up, double stitched, as well as the bottom of the eyelets right there. And I did skive a lot more pieces just to get it nice and flush for the liner. But the liner, I am so stoked with this. As you can see, it is chickens. A little bit of chicken liner action. I don't know what we're doing right now, but I thought this material was really cool, and you know, might as well change it up instead of going with like a lambskin, because dunks, you know, I feel like, and like personally, they're always like everywhere, all over the place. They're really unique compared to other shoes, like mostly for the Jordans, right? They got colorways with solid colors, but for the dunks, they have different patterns, different like colors, images on them. So hey, might as well change it up, make some chicken dunks, which is hilarious. And for the Nike signs, right? We already cut the python, the blue python. I'm gonna back it up with a white leather. That's what I did right here. I think it's gonna make it definitely pop. With it all being blue, this is definitely gonna make it pop a little bit better than what it normally would do. And I will have to skive the back down, but that's not too bad of a process. Boom, we got these 2 bad boys, right? So if I pick this shenanigan up and I get my Nike sign, it's gonna give you a nice idea of the poppiness on it. Kind of looks like a lobster, right? So pops really nice. I love the look of it. With the neon stitching, as I've already mentioned in before, we got ourselves some laced up custom back tabs. Why not, right? Got the leather underneath it, but I got the material on the outside stitched up. Laced up customs, how you doing? We're putting it on the back. I think it's gonna look really cool, you know, adding that tan off-white. I might even now dye the midsole coffee instead of like a blue, just to change it up a bit. I think that might go with this beautiful, amazing, awesome chicken print. I'm gonna finish up right now, so what I gotta do is stitch the Nike signs on. From there, I'm gonna stitch the back tab on. We're gonna stitch the liner on from the inside out, and then I'm gonna figure out what I wanna do with the fabric on the inside. So hear me out, I might have stitched a little bit more than I expected while the camera was off, because first of all, the battery died, but I just had so much fun, I kept on stitching, and I have really cool fabric. So first of all, I finished the toe as well as the tongue. Boom, I hole punched that all. Of course, I double stitched it with that beautiful neon, but I made this really cool tongue with this white material and a piping all the way around with the rooster. Look at that. We are using rooster for the liner, right? Because I was at the store and I was like looking at materials. I was buying this white fabric for the inside and outside, and I saw this rooster material and I was like, I need to use this for the liner. It is beautiful, it looks immaculate, and I gotta get as much of it as possible. Also, it was on sale in the discounted section. I was like, that's gonna be the dunk liner and it's gonna look beautiful. Remember, if you wanna learn how to make a shoe just like this, join my shoemaking course, link down in the description. You don't wanna miss this. I teach you from start to finish how to make your own shoe. I teach you how to make your own patterns. I teach you how to last. I teach you how to cut all this material, stitch it all together, teach you how to stitch properly as well. And also, big announcement, I have a shoemaking course, in-person shoemaking course in the office coming out very soon. You definitely wanna stay in tune. You wanna stay up to date with that so you could join, because I'm gonna have minimum seating available. So jump on that before it's out. Check out my Instagram. I'm gonna have more updates on there. Now we have the upper finally finished. As you can see, it is looking beautiful. We got the all blue suede, we got the blue python, as well as it being backed with a white leather, which I'm super happy about. But my favorite thing about the Dunks, first of all, my favorite thing is that I think this is the most enjoyable shoe I've ever made. You know, making Jordans, Air Forces, and whatnot, right? This is the most fun I've had making a shoe. I love the patterns. I love the obviously the colorways, right? But I love the patterns and the overlays and whatnot, all the techniques and stuff that goes into it. But my favorite part, as I was saying about this shoe, is the rooster liner. That's so cool, as well as the embroidery on the backside. In the next video, we're gonna be lasting up this video. But thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. This is a final shoe. In the next video, we're gonna be lasting it up, finishing it, and putting it on a sole. Thanks for watching and have a great day.